Hello and welcome to Breaking Bread with Rivaj Maharaj, where nothing is off the table. For today's episode, I want to talk about the current meeting between Keir Starmer and Volodymyr Zelensky, as Zelensky descends upon London to have talks with Keir Starmer. So without further ado, let's get into it. I've got an article here from the BBC, Zelensky to visit Starmer to sign new Ukraine Defense Pact. And you can see that in the photo, Zelensky looks a little more upbeat than he usually does, together with Starmer. And I suppose that is simply because of what is going on in Iran. Zelensky has repeatedly said that the United States has asked the Ukrainians for assistance regarding drones, etc.
Partners
are turning to us, to Ukraine, asking for help in defending against Shahed drones with expertise and real operational experience. There have also been requests from the American side. In recent days, I have spoken with the leaders of the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait. There will also be negotiations with other regional leaders. We are coordinating with our European partners as well. Of course, any assistance we provide will only be on the condition that it does not weaken our own defense in Ukraine and that it serves as an investment in our diplomatic opportunities. We help those defend themselves from war, who help us, Ukraine, move closer to a just end to this war.
Trump has said openly that the United States does not need Ukraine for anything.
I'll tell you one thing with Ukraine.
What?
They have to pay for everything, and they pay through NATO. When they buy missiles from us, when they buy anything from us, it goes not to them, it goes to NATO, and NATO pays the bill.
Are they helping us with drone defense too?
No, we don't need the help in drone defense. No, we do. We know more about drones than anybody. We have the best drones in the world, actually.
Mr. President, best of luck these next few days. We'll be watching every moment, and thanks so much for your time.
Trump has further gone on to say that Russia is prepared to do a deal, Putin is prepared to do a deal, but Zelensky is stalling, and that Zelensky is the most difficult person to work with, I paraphrase, but in terms of trying to get a deal done. You know, whatever you think about the war with Iran, whatever you think about the war with Russia, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this are very clear. Volodymyr Zelensky, number one, is now an illegitimate ruler of Ukraine. His mandate to rule has passed. He has refused to hold elections until the war stops. He's refusing to reach a deal on the war. So it's like a dog trying to catch its tail. Because as long as the war carries on, he's in charge. And as long as he's in charge, no deal is being done. And the end to the war is dependent on a deal being done. Now, the British media will always, and the European media will always tell you that it is the Russians' fault. And that is glaring in the fact that when Trump has asked the EU and the UK to send assistance, naval assistance, to keep the Strait of Hormuz free of Iranian drones and missiles, they've seen this as an opportunity, as I mentioned in my other video, to deny that to Donald Trump. And that is not because they don't want to get involved in the war. These are warmongers. These European elite and Keir Starmer and the British elite, they're all warmongers. They profit from these wars. But this is a little school ground, girls on the playground type attitude that is being adopted. Oh, you want Greenland. Oh, you said I'm no Churchill. Oh, you have said that Europe is different and we are not worthy. We need to walk back our policies. Oh, we'll show you. We've now got our little moment in the sun, and we are going to deny you any assistance in helping with the Iranian debacle. Now, where you get Zelensky flying to the UK, he's come because Starmer is reaffirming his commitment to Ukraine. Again, the British public are suffering. Starmer gives two hoots about the British public. Whatever money we have or we don't have, he's prepared to give to the Ukrainians, knowing full well Zelensky and his friends are stealing half of that money. So, nothing here makes sense. And inviting this buffoon. Well, this is the meeting of two buffoons, Starmer and Zelensky, because they're both idiots on the world stage. They have nothing to offer humanity, absolutely nothing except disaster. So this article says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is set to visit Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer in the UK on Tuesday to agree to a new defense partnership aimed at tackling cheap attack drones. You know, this John Healey has, I did a video where he said that, Putin's invisible hand. So what happened here was, if you followed the line, when American bases were attacked last week in Erbil in Iraq, John Healey was quick to point that the Russians were involved. Putin's hidden hand, he called it. And that was to steer Americans in the direction of not desanctioning the Russian oil. However, Trump went ahead with that anyway. And then they saw the opportunity when Trump asked for assistance with the Straits of Hormuz. Now, while, agreeing or disagreeing with the war in Iran, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just here to tell you my 2 cents worth on what I see happening. I'm looking at things playing out and asking myself, why are they going in this direction? Now, I know that the Europeans, had it been another American president, would have jumped at the opportunity to send assistance to the Straits of Hormuz. But because it's Donald Trump, this is the schoolgirl type narrative that is playing out. Then you have the fact that the Europeans and the UK have to deal with an administration that is hell-bent on ending this Ukrainian war. Now, let's sit back and analyze that for a second. Should we not want to support somebody that wants to end a war rather than embolden them to continue with that war? Persecuting the American administration because they want to end the war in Ukraine doesn't make sense, because innocent lives are being lost every day. So, I don't understand. You don't want to get involved in Iran. You don't want to help police the Straits of Hormuz, where that oil is coming to your doorstep and helping your public, but yet you want to continue the war in Ukraine because of some threat that you think that the Russians pose to you. The Russians have got more than enough to deal with, let alone worry about what the Brits think about them. But our mentality is so skewed. We're still living in this Cold War mentality. We still somehow think we are fighting the Soviets. I don't understand how. And it's clear to see when you saw Yaroslav Hanka in the Canadian Parliament. You see the messed up inversion of history. When Trudeau and the Canadian Parliament, what an embarrassment for the Canadians. What an embarrassment. To stand up and, salute and clap and applaud a Nazi in the Parliament, in the Canadian Parliament. And these are not, young generation people. These are people that grew up knowing history, knowing what the Nazis did, yet still stand up. It just shows the morality of the situation. So again, Zelensky coming here is it is honestly, as a British tax-paying citizen, it is sickening. It is sickening that we have to entertain this idiot, and that we have a moron in power that is prepared to entertain him. Because I think we've done more than enough for this moron and his personal finances, and we still want to give him more. Take that money, go down to Brixton. Take that money, go down to East London. Take that money, go down to the impoverished areas of the United Kingdom and help your own people, because that is where that money is needed. Not on a bunch of rogues and thieves sitting in Ukraine, stealing money, stealing arms, selling it on the world stage for their benefit. So, yeah, Britain will also give 500,000 to fund an AI Center of Excellence in Kiev. In a statement ahead of the meeting, UK Defense Secretary John Healey said it was increasingly important that we build on Ukrainian expertise and innovation. Yeah. Wars ebb and flow, and right now Ukraine's facing a harsh tide. Rising oil prices are fueling Russia's war machine, and allies are distracted and divided over the Middle East. Zelensky is currently on a tour of European capitals to show up support and keep his conflict in the at the forefront of allies' minds. Again, I've said it in my other video, Zelensky is now obsolete. He's irrelevant. As long as this war with Iran continues, Zelensky is irrelevant. Short of him stripping and dancing naked on YouTube to make himself, these are the levels this man will be prepared to go to. And it's not for the Ukrainian people. Do not for one moment think it's for the Ukrainian people. Because if this man had any empathy for the Ukrainian people, this issue with Russia would have been settled a long time ago. So make no mistake, this has got nothing to do with the Ukrainian people. This is about Zelensky saving his own skin, because the Azov battalion are going to string him up one day. This is about Zelensky lining his own pockets, his friends' pockets, and his benefactors' pockets, and keeping the military-industrial complex running. This is what it's about. It's not about the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians, they've already decimated a few generations of them. They care not for the lives of the Ukrainians. How this man sleeps at night, I don't know. How Keir Starmer sleeps at night, I don't know. They are really vile creatures. Incidentally, if the optics are to be believed, from this clip I'm going to show you, Zelensky exiting the plane upon his arrival within the United Kingdom, he's met by Zaluzhny. Zaluzhny, who is the Ukrainian ambassador. It could be some form of a message to Zelensky that his time is up, because we know the Americans are pressurizing Zelensky to do a deal and for things to change within Ukraine. And I suspect, Zaluzhny, it could be a message that Zaluzhny is incoming. So let's keep an eye on that. So I want to thank you for spending time with us. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, as it helps us with the algorithm and it helps our channel to grow.